So I want to show my analysis on something. So let's come right here on the screen real quick, and I'm gonna show you this one. I'm gonna show you this paper with nothing but a statement, like a test question. Explain why you think privacy is important. Now I want to actually analyze the whole thing behind this, not actually just say explain why I think privacy is important. I want to go into some things about this statement or whatever you can call it. This is off off its off the meaning of just off of what it says, off of what's on the screen. It's assuming already that privacy is important. It doesn't acknowledge, and I'll explain why later. But this let's just say this this sentence, this statement doesn't just assumes that you think privacy is important. It doesn't um it doesn't acknowledge the fact that you could be thinking not. You could think against that. You could think privacy is not important. In fact, you could have more than two sides to thinking that privacy is important or privacy is not important. Like, what if this paper said, explain why you think privacy is important, but it doesn't say, or let's say it said, explain why you think privacy is important, explain why. If you think privacy is not important, then you're not going to be able to explain why privacy is important because you don't believe privacy is important. So this is just a thing I want to take out. And also, you may have there's also another two more sides you can take to this. You could agree that privacy is important. You could not agree that privacy is important. That way you could go against it. You could believe privacy is unimportant, or you could be undecided. You wouldn't know what you wouldn't know if privacy is, or you're not sure. Not you wouldn't know. You're not sure if privacy is important or if it's not important. You're in the middle. And then the fourth thing you could think is I don't care one way or another. I don't have any opinions toward why privacy is important or not. So there's four things right there that you could think of, and this statement is just asking you to explain one thing why privacy is important. So this is what I wanted to relate it to, which I was talking about a little bit earlier. If you were to walk up to somebody and tell them this, they might not be able to tell you exactly why because everybody just thinks privacy is important. People don't think enough. This may sound kind of mean, but if you think about this, people don't think enough, or some people just think they know something. For example, if you walked up to somebody and they said, "Why is privacy important?" As soon as you just say, "Why is privacy important?" because it assumes that they think privacy is important. So because they think that, you can ask them from there to explain why. And you're like, what do you mean? Because that is something that people feel is commonplace and just know, like you just know something without thinking about it. But if you make them think about it, about why privacy is important, then they'll be like, what do you mean? They might be like, what do you mean? Privacy is important. Would you want somebody to walk in the bathroom when you're in there? And then that's not actually explaining why privacy is important. That is just giving an example of what it's like to not have privacy. It doesn't directly support, it doesn't really directly support why privacy is important. It just shows what happens when you don't have privacy. So that's something interesting that I wanted to analyze and say right here, that people don't think enough. And I actually asked somebody about this, and they gave me that's the example they gave me. But then they thought a little about it, and then they were like, well, you need to be alone sometimes. Sometimes you want to think. Sometimes you want to do this. Sometimes you want to do that. Sometimes you want to watch watch something on your own, and you just don't want outside influence. That's the real answer that that people should be giving because people don't think enough. So that's my overall point here that I wanted to bring up because if you tell somebody to explain to you why privacy is important, or you ask them, because pretty much everybody you ask will say privacy is important. So think about that. Think about that. Think about how not everybody thinks about stuff enough. So that's just something I thought about earlier today, and I wanted to analyze. So I think I have enough time to close this out. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to say right now. Might have more. Might add a couple more things if I think of anything. But I'll keep going. I'll keep this going. Not the video. Got a few seconds left. But um, that's the things I wanted to think about, and that's what I want to put out. So think about that, everybody. I'll just record until the time runs out. Baba da bing. Okay, I want to get into actually talking about like, cause so my main point is obviously people don't think enough, and I showed my example, and I try to get my point across as to why I don't think people, as to why people don't think enough. But why, the question actually, why don't people think enough? That's something I'm gonna think about right now. I'm gonna try to explain why, or just whatever I can just give on that part right now, because I'm just trying to explain that people don't think enough, and then give an example for that. But I'm not actually explaining why people don't think enough, which I think is a little important too to include in here, so it can be more full. If that's a good word to describe it. It's not like I'm leaving a little bit out. But if like I said, if I leave something out, I'll tack it on to the end of the I'll tack it on to the end of the video. So yeah, um, I think the reason people don't think enough is that there's just some things in their mind that are automatic, that they think about, that like they associate, are just completely true automatically. For example, privacy is one of them. People just assume that privacy is important. No one ever thinks that privacy isn't important. Like people will never say, I don't need privacy. I don't care. I it's never associated with like, let's say in society, in any in the world, people go to the bathroom. This is the example. People want to be in there alone. Literally, you need to be in there alone. That's pretty self-explanatory. You need some space to yourself, so that you can, you know, you need some space to yourself so that you can not be intruded. And that's one of them. Another thing that people may think automatically about is um sorry if you hear my squeaky chair, by the way. I'm just trying to think of one of these off the bat, because I wanted to add this to the video, because I don't want to just say my point. And although I have something to back it up, I want to get a little bit more, explain a little bit more as to why. So, okay. I'm gonna think for a second. I don't want to just waste the time, but I'm gonna pause for a second, and I'll think a little, and I'll tell you in a second. Okay, unpause. All right, I've thought of something. Walking with your eyes open. That's important, right? Why is that? This is the point I thought about. This is another automatic thing, if that people will just assume, but don't really think about it right now. Don't think about it. People, it's just an automatic thing, and I know I'm saying this over and over again, but I'm trying to get the point across. I'm trying to explain the point a little more. Um, People always associate walking with their eyes being open. You never really see people walking with their eyes closed, because, oh wait, because that's exactly where I'm trying to get at. Because is the point behind the point of the video. People don't think why enough. Like if you would if you might ask somebody, do you walk with your eyes open? They might just be like, yeah, obviously. And then I'm like, why? They might be like, because I just do it. But they might not actually explain, because the reason you walk with your eyes open is so that you can know where you're going, and you can, keep yourself safe from hurting yourself, because if you walk with your eyes closed, you could run into something or not be safe. And you can also walking around with your eyes open is also good, is a way to keep yourself aware. And those things kind of intertwine too. So that they connect. You're more aware of your surroundings when your eyes are open. So that's important, and that's how. Those are just a couple. Those are some examples to explain why I think that people don't think about stuff enough. Hopefully that was good. Hopefully you like that, and yeah, that's my point on that stuff. So yeah. Okay. I want to add some last minute things really quickly. Earlier, before, at about 4 minutes into the video, I said the answer. I said the real answer. It I was explaining how and this might be a little weird for you guys, but I'm continuing off of what I said earlier, where and that point where I was like I might have something else to say. Yeah, I have a couple more things to add. So earlier when I was like that's the answer you should be giving, where it was about why you should think privacy is important. I meant that because just I'm just saying this so that there's not people confused. I meant that that's the right answer to give if you believe privacy is important. You should not want outside influence if you're if that's one of the reasons you might give for thinking privacy is important. Not saying that's just the right answer completely. If you didn't believe privacy is important and you had your own reasoning for believing that, then that'd be good too. My point is that I was trying to get across is that people don't think enough. And to be able to give your opinion about how you don't want outside influence or why you don't believe privacy is important, you have to think. You have to put some thought into actually saying that, which people don't do enough because once again, that's the main point of what I was trying to get across. And also, to sum it up, that's what it is. And oh, I think I like the name of this video. I was gonna hint at it right now, but then I thought, no, that's not gonna really work because it's already the name of it. But yeah, that to sum it all up, that's my short analysis that I thought of for right now about privacy and privacy just being the example that I want to use to to show the point of why people don't really think enough. It's kind of automatic for people. So yeah, that's just the example for the point. And yeah, this is my short analysis on that. And I think that's everything I got right now. But if I got any other last minute things, I'll bring them up. But yeah, just a thought.